you lose. They've played 99 playoff games in this run. So this will be their 100th playoff game, which is kind of remarkable in and of itself in this run. They're 65-9. 65-9 when they get 104 plus, when it's a high-scoring game. They are 10-15 if you hold them under that number. You cannot beat this team 121-118. You cannot say we're just going to play at your pace, we're going to play your style, we're going to trust our offense to go toe-to-toe with your offense. The Cleveland Cavaliers tried that in 2017 and lost in 5. The reason the only team to beat them in this run, the Cavs in 2016. What was the final score of that decisive Game 7 in Oracle? 93-89. You have to slow it down. You have to stifle them in the half court and keep them out of running in the full court in the transition. That is the biggest key of this series. There are a lot of other secondary and third keys that we will get to, but the biggest one is you've got to keep the Warriors in essentially double digits. If you do that, you win more often than you lose. If not, you win about 1 in 9 times. That will be the biggest key of this series and tonight's game for Toronto.
And CC, if there's any team that could do that, it's going to be a team as defensively savvy as the Toronto Raptors.
Right. That's the reason why they're in the finals. The reason why they're in the finals aren't the first 2 games of the series against Milwaukee. They are the last 4 games. And in those last 4 games, there were a couple things that did take place. We talked about Kawhi Leonard being switched over on to Giannis. There's not an adjustment that I believe that the Toronto's going to make like that going into the finals, but they will make this adjustment. They slowed down the pace. The pace they made the Bucks play at would have been the slowest pace in the NBA by far during the regular season. So, Nick, to your point, this is how they got to the finals. If you don't think Nick Nurse and his coaching staff, one of his coaching assistants is one of the assistants that was in Cleveland, and when Cleveland came back from a 3-1 deficit, the one thing they controlled in that series, even when they were down, was the pace of the game. So pace has a lot to do with it when they have struggled, their overall experience. So how do the lack of experience, you talked about these Warriors as they exist, 100 playoff games. The Raptors, this is their 101 playoff game as a franchise. So lack of experience, a huge advantage. So how do I get that? Take advantage of the crowd. Let's play with a lot of emotion. People talk about the Raptors and their fan base being more like a college atmosphere. People's out there at Jurassic Park outside the stadium. Take advantage of that. And if you're going to take advantage, you must take advantage of the first half. One thing Portland did and how they stayed in the games, they outscored Golden State by 23 points in those first 4 games and before they got swept. Toronto, take advantage of the crowd. They need to get out to a nice lead because you know Golden State in that third quarter, they always make a big run.
And would you say take advantage of at least game 1 where you know Kevin Durant is not going to be there? You don't know his future for the rest of the series, but take advantage of a game without Kevin Durant.
Well, listen, I don't think the Raptors can win the series this weekend, long weekend in Toronto, but they can lose it. If they go down 0-2